into it with this one right here. We got Gully, lock, load. Got lock and load with Gully, especially with Gully into it with the lock and load, and we got the whole, especially with Danny executed this one. We got Danny with the execution and a whole other coming from the London lighting too. So we got the Gully lock and load, the whole just the whole lock and load to the whole to Gully, like just Gully just into entertain with this one right here, especially with everything else just being excluded to this right here. But especially with his full informant, Gully and the whole the lock and load. So especially from the whole thing just coming to the is the main, especially with his main intros.
Is this clock? Spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spine. Shrieking skulls will shock your soul.
Scratch mixed it.
Yo, I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he put a Should've seen how my got sauce. Inject or use my index with force. Do you wanna get left in sauce? It's a hot side if I let go of the scorch. Strangle the force.
Do you want to get left in the sauce? He said in the sauce, and he said he ain't got to do too much because you already know what's going. Like you already know what's coming into the whole like pressure and the whole thing. So you got the whole thing just already just coming from a format to a piece. Like you got the whole thing just coming from them sticks.
Control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he put a Should've seen how my got sauce. Inject or use my index with force. Do you wanna get
Sauce injected and to the injection to everything else, so they didn't inject it. They didn't come for the injection to the whole thing, especially how everything else is coming to this. Like we just got the old informants here, like something old style. Like we got the old style and it's different for the wave.
Should've seen how my got sauce. Inject or use my index with force. Do you wanna get left in sauce? It's a hot side if I let go of the scorch. Strangle the fours like bang on a watch. I call him and leave force. Smith in my reach. Got back and release. Leave one for police. Caught feel like a butterfly and stun like a bee. Oil up the Matic with WD-4E. Produce a star and release the carbine. Patrol the radius. Look out for one time. Pop out the backseat. Bring out my it's raining candy. Put down the handy. If nothing got then I'm not happy. If he's thinking he's sick, then here's the vaccine. I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he put a few I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he put a If I didn't hold that, I must have drove that. I need a match popped off, I felt the blowback. Out cars or we get close up. If we both got then what's the hold up? Loud bang, better cover your ears. I got a mash filled up with an airs. When the Babylon rise up, man, disappear. If anybody wants smoke, then please volunteer. I breathe the blueprint and cop the what's the hold up? Loud bang, better cover your ears. I got a mash filled up with an airs. When the Babylon rise up, man, disappear. If anybody wants smoke, then please volunteer. I breathe the blueprint and cop the
We said please volunteer, especially when the whole thing, like you got the whole thing just out, and you out like you out in the field too, where it's like all type of sand and places going on here, especially as you bring back the old ways, how it really was, and how everything was really going against, like everything had a different place, different like time and everything else too, especially with their time back in they had a different time. Like they had a different time just coming into the whole thing, especially when they had a different place and everything else, especially the obituaries and stuff like that too. They had another obituaries because they was living off of a different like slash and everything else. How everything else was being controlled and everything else too. It was limit like the way the whole thing was. But this one has a lot of different imagery. But
If I didn't hold that, I must have drove that. I need a match popped off, I felt the blowback. Out cars or we get close up. If we both got then what's the hold up? Loud bang, better cover your ears. I got a mash filled up with an airs. When the Babylon rise up, man, disappear. If anybody wants smoke, then please volunteer. I breed the blueprint and copped a few things we ain't recruiting. Ran out of blue slings, man, ain't disputing. I'm just like Putin, fan out he ain't. Then now I'm fuming. When I get aiming, protect your cranium. Invest in the shit, getting allegations, assassinations, the speculation. I told the police, the regulation. I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much. His chest was high, so he put a I hear sirens wailing. I nearly lost control. You ain't gotta do much.
Danny executed this. Hey, especially with Danny, we got Danny, but we got the lock and load, especially with Golly. Golly just into him with it and everything else too. Like this one had a like a another like centuries, like probably a century thing, but especially with Golly to the lock and load and just with Danny and everything else too. So this one really just took a whole thing, a whole bit on to this one right here, especially the whole thing just taking place to this one right here, especially with the this whole thing. But mainly from this one right here and everything else being what it was, like this one had a this one brought back like all type of like back in the centuries, like you got the whole thing just elaborating with this, but mainly from everything else too. You guys definitely tune in with this one right here, coming from this.